Reclaiming your life requires time and effort if you are willing to submit to the process. Dr. Tamisha Duru has made it her mission to help women not only face various problems, but overcome them with a renewed sense of peace and happiness. And she joins us now with some simple steps to remember. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You can hear there's still the hubbub going on in here over Charlie Brotman, but we were so happy that you were here with us this morning.
Thank
you. And this is a very personal journey for you.
Absolutely.
Talk about your own personal struggles.
Well, first of all, I suffered in silence for years, leading to depression, suicidal thoughts, and it really came about as a result of the death of my father. I saw him take his last breath, and it just took me in a downward spiral. Then the same day my father transitioned, I lost my husband. Not death, but just divorce.
Another loss.
And another loss.
That can feel like a death in the family.
Absolutely, because you grieve both. And so, you know, I was dealing with all of these different emotions and I wasn't sure how to manage it. And so I dealt with it by myself. And so hence the I Suffered in Silence book that I wrote after I started to find ways to, you know, pour myself into my words and, you know, figure out how to move forward.
You know, grief is something that I don't think we talk about enough here in this country. And of course, we don't discuss, you know, mental illness enough. Was there just, in your opinion, you didn't know where to go? There wasn't anyone for you to turn to, not anyone for you to talk with?
Embarrassed, you know, feeling as though I failed, being divorced, you know, not necessarily sure how to handle grief, didn't know what that felt like or what it looked like. And then I've never been depressed. So because it wasn't something tangible, I didn't know what I didn't know. And I just, you know, dealt with all of the different emotions by myself, thinking this too will pass. Well, in essence, I was just falling deeper and deeper into a space that I'd never known before. And it became more and more of a issue for me until I was able to speak out and talk about what I was feeling, and then was able to get help for others that said, you know what, that's depression. You know, you're suicidal, not necessarily because of you not wanting to live, but because of what you're dealing with, you're feeling like you don't want to deal with it anymore. You've reached your wit's end.
Right, completely hopeless. So in picking up the pieces and in writing this book, what has the reaction been from other people who I'm assuming have said, I feel the same way?
Oh my gosh, the moment that I spoke out, and I started to say, you know what, I'm suffering, and I've suffered in silence for all of this time. This is what I've been feeling. Women across the world started to reach out to me and say, you know what, I too have been suffering in silence. I'm dealing with, you know, depression. I am in a violent relationship with my husband, and I don't know what to do. I've never spoke about it. Thank you for sharing your story, because now I'm able to tell others that I too am dealing with what I'm going through. So it's been an amazing experience that, you know, I never thought would turn into something that is this positive, being able to help others along the way.
There's a relief when you realize, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not weird for feeling this way.
Absolutely. And it's okay to not be okay. And so speak out, and you'll be surprised how many people out there that are going through the same things that are also willing to help.
And so you've created the WISE org.
I did.
Talk about that.
So as a result of all of this, and then when the women started to talk to me and I started helping others, I really realized that, you know, it was necessary for me to do something more than just speak to individual women along their journey. And so I founded this 501c3 nonprofit organization that is called the WISE org. And it's an acronym for the Women's Inspirational and Self-Empowerment Organization. And so we work with women who are suffering in silence, specifically because of unhealthy relationships or whatever their issues might be. And we work with them to develop themselves so that they can come out of the depression or the state of being that they're in and live their life on purpose. And that's what it's all about.